Hello again, YouTube. Um, wow, I guess we're back to the how-to videos then. um, well, because we have been doing a lot of gaming videos, I also thought it might be useful for a lot of people to, well, get to know as to what we kind of do for the community to get all our services running. Well, maybe in the event that I come to pass and somebody else needs to take over, this could be useful. And maybe some other clans can benefit from some explanations on how we set things up. So I am slowly going to start and make some videos about how to, well, in this case, how to set up Steam and Teamspeak authentication. Um, and you might think, what kind of use would I have for that for my own TeamSpeak? Well, maybe sometimes you notice that people randomly join your TeamSpeak and start doing, well, the annoying kind of stuff where they have music bots on their machine or soundboards on their machine and just start hassling the hell out of the people in your TeamSpeak. This can be a method on how to prevent people to randomly join your TeamSpeak and access all the channels. Before people would be able to access other channels, they would have to authenticate them through Steam. It would be an automated process, so you'd have no manual labor in it. So it would be pretty easy, and the people that are dedicated to join your TeamSpeak are willing to do that. Uh, what would be your advantage? Well, as a lot of people use VPNs or know how to remove their unique identifier from TeamSpeak, they would be able to, well, circumvent your ban policies. There are other ways to do it, but they are quite a hassle and pretty intensive to use. So I thought, what's an easy way to get rid of those kind of people? So I guess I'm gonna teach you guys and show you what the possibilities are. So it's pretty simple. Somebody made a script, and I'll show you because all credits go to, I think it's a her. I'm guessing by the name, but I mean, and she's also willing to help you out if you run into any problems. Her project is on GitHub, and it's easy contact, so it's really great. And if you have any questions about setting it up, I'm also willing to help. Um, this is pretty much the script that it runs. It just keeps running under an account. Just set up a service account on your server and have it run on that one. Um, well, first things first, of course, where do I find this? Well, I will post the links in the description to make it easier, but you simply go to the TeamSpeak forum where you'll get an explanation of what it is. It's a Steam integration node. It's got its own GitHub, Steam integration for TeamSpeak 3, and the only thing you need for it to have it run on at least a Windows machine, I think Linux has automated it or has all the requisites installed already. But for Windows, you just simply need the Node.js. Simply download the packet, the recommended one, that's the one I used, install it, and you should be able to use the program. Once you've installed Node.js, well, you simply go to the GitHub. You make sure you, well, download the zip file, and, well, I should have it here somewhere. There it is! Yay! Yes, it has been installed recently, so I still know everything what I need to do. And you simply, well, extract the Steam TS master to a location on your server. And I've placed it, well, pretty much here. Yay! It's rather easy. So you set it up here. Once that's done, well, pretty much all you need to do, and I will check for the installation for it. Yeah, you need to open a command line. That would be job number one. So here's what we do. Open CMD. We would be needing to be in the folder where we need to go, and yes, there is easier ways. Right, I forgot pretty much how. Wait, oh, right. Steam DS, and then Steam DS Master. You need to navigate yourself to the folder where you've placed the Steam TS files, and you simply follow this installation guide. It's pretty simple. Once you've installed Node.js, you are able to initiate the npm commands, which are needed. So you simply type in npm install. I will not run it right now because we already have the program running. This will install the program. But then after that, you're pretty much done with your CMD for now, because you need to configure it first. Keep in mind it's an authentication system, so make sure you follow the steps correctly, otherwise you might just, well, I don't think there's a big impact on your Teamspeak, but it could act as some, it could initiate some weird stuff, and you don't want that. Because in the configuration, and for security's sake, I have changed the location or copied the configuration we are running, where I made pretty stars out of usernames and passwords, because yes, I don't want you people to be able to log in on those. Pretty much what it asks, it's really straightforward. You just need to enter the Teamspeak IP address. Well, in this case, I'm running it on the local server where Teamspeak's also running. It's also possible to run this script on a different machine, so that's useful. Well, let the script know what the query port is. Normally standard is 10011. Give it the query username. Now, here's where a bit more weird parts come in, because you need to set up well, 2 accounts for this. One on Teamspeak and one on Steam. The one for Teamspeak, well, you could use your server admin query, which would be, I think this, which is a basic standard server query account, and it should have given you a password at installation. So I'm hoping you guys save that. Otherwise, there are some options. I got YATQA installed for managing my Teamspeaks. Simply connect to it, and what you can do is look up the users. On permissions, and you can get a group overview, or maybe should I be able to see who's in there? Yeah, I should be able to see the members. As you can see here, server admin from 127. So local server admin is already in the admin server query, and you also have a guest server query which you can put in users. So that is needed for this to work, and it has to have the right permissions to assign a server group, which you are eventually going to configure in here. So YATQA is a really useful tool to get the information you need for this configuration. I don't want to reload that one. Thank you. Notepad. Let's close some of the files. Close all to the left. There we go. Well, you simply fill in the password for your server query or your query account you got set up. You need to configure a Steam account. In this case, we is store steampowered.com. We set up a special account for this. Keep in mind that if you set up a new account for it, you are in need of, oh wait, there, that's the password, I think. Keep in mind that you will have to buy something for, I think, $5 US before you can actually use this, and I think I am going to look for the email address under which it is registered, because all these authentication stuff, it's quite annoying, but once you got it set up, you only have to do it once, so that's the good part, I guess. So let's go to Google. Yes, here are all my, I think we set it up under this one. So the Gmail should tell us, yay, your Steam account. Woo! Dear iCare community, that's us. Yay! Alright, and send. And yes, it's in Dutch. So here we have our iCare bot, as it's called now. And it's got some friends as well, because, well, people will send a friend request to the bot to start chatting with it, to use it. Well, you fill in the password of the Steam user, and you have to figure out what server ID your Teamspeak server is running on. And as I said, I have this beautiful tool where I can simply see its server ID, which is on the right here. And we are running it for the iCare community. So it would be possible to set up multiple of these scripts to if you're hosting multiple Teamspeaks. The minimum level, well, there is a description about it. I just kept it at number 1, but in the file it will give you a description of the minimum level. It's the required Steam level for the verification system. I'm not entirely sure what functionality that would give you, but I guess that as you can, if you go to Steam, your user, if you go to its profile, which I wasn't going there, your user will have a level, which is represented here. You can gain badges to increase your Steam level. I'm thinking that that's the thing it's pointing to. So if somebody would make a fake Steam account, well, they would have at least have bought $5 to worth in games or anything to be able to chat or befriend other people. But if you increase that level, you are making sure that the person that is trying to authenticate himself with your Steam has put in the time and effort to develop their Steam account. So I guess that's pretty much the use for it. So the higher it is, the more secure or the more authentic the person behind that account is likely to be. But we're keeping it at a low level. Wanted rank ID. This is its a server group it's going to be assigned to. So I would go to group overview, and I want the people to be a special guest. So let me see where I have, there it is. And you see its ID is 136. So I simply put in that ID. And people, when they are authenticated, they will receive the special guest permissions. Edit description is true, because they will be getting a clan abbreviation. No, that's not entirely true. My bad. This is the abbreviation which the bot will receive from the script, which you can see in the profile. You see here that it is iCarebot. Unfortunately, it can only use 4 characters, otherwise it won't work. So I had to improvise. Well, this is the query interval. How often do you want it to check its information so it can change stuff in the background? Two-factor authentication, I have it false because, well, that would put a bit more hassle on the people that want to use it. But there is a description on how to implement it. Well, it's sort of the Steam Guard authentication which they, well, would use. I'm not going to be using it because it would, well, actively let the users use that two-factor authentication, and I don't want to put them through that trouble. Always, well, set up the web server. Keep in mind there is a bug for it when you're running it on Windows system. Because the authentication system to log into the web server, its admin panel, you will have to do several tries most of the time before you are able to get into the web server, the web panel. Set a port for it. 8080 is the standard port. Well, and fill in a username for the web panel and the password. This is where the is what it has to match with. And well, do not edit session secret. And I maybe not should have shown you guys this, but it's okay. So that's pretty much the configuration. Once you have that done, you are set to go. So you have your Teamspeak query user. You have your Steam account, which you have purchased at least $5 for it to accept friend requests. And you've set up the configuration of the script. After that, you can simply run the following command. And I've made a bat file out of it because, well, I'm lazy and I want it to auto start. You can do way more things with this if you have a bat file. Even though it's a really simple command, it's just npm start. If you want to do it manually, you'll simply go here and say you navigate to the Steam to the folder where you got the installation and simply say start. That's it. And you press enter, which I will not because it's already running. Well, then it should start running something like this. And you'd be able to do the following. You go to Teamspeak, or well, not just Teamspeak. You make sure you log into Teamspeak, and in this case, this is the radio channel. Yes, we run a radio on our Teamspeak, and it is also useful for testing purposes. And in this case, I'm going to start up Steam. This might take a bit because it's an active server, and it works. You log into Steam, and of course you get authentication question, which in this case comes to my phone, which is nice. There we go. And it should log in. I think. Yes, there it is. Was that smart? No, I don't want to be on this one. I think, yeah, I do need to be. So at first we're gonna check if this account isn't already bound to a Teamspeak account, because that would be kind of silly. So I would go to localhost and then 8080 and then I think it's login called. Yeah, there we go. We got the TS panel. I got it set up pretty simple. And this is the issue I was talking about. You need to try multiple times before you actually get in. And most of the time it's 3 times, but no. Once I hit the 3 times, I just go to index, because that is also a page in this website, and then I try again. It seems to help, but not always. So maybe I'll edit this out a little bit. But if you try fast and long enough, you should be able to get in. Well, this is quite annoying, but the amount of times you will have to log into this is limited. So let me check if it works when I come from here. It would be this one. And still no luck. This should eventually get me in, but maybe if I close this and try it again. I'm still not sure on how these things are worked around, but yeah, there we go. We got in. So here you can see that Swipe and Grey Drone on our Teamspeak have been authenticated with their Steam identity. They also log in the most recent address, so every time people log in on a different computer or a different IP address, it would update. It would log its Teamspeak identity and its Steam identity. That's pretty much it. It's just an authentication system where it would link the Steam identity to the Teamspeak identity. It's that simple, actually. So I can close this one because we have a panel opened. So that means that iCare Striker is not authenticated yet, which is good, but I already have the bot added, so that's helpful, I guess. Here you can see, well, I've already had a chat with my bot. All the user has to do, because we have made a channel which describes what to do if you want to authenticate yourself. It's very useful to give that explanation to people. First thing you simply do is, well, find the Steam bot, type in verify in the chat, and it will start talking back. It's really useful. Your verification process has started. Please enter your Teamspeak username here. Well, in this case I'm Radio, so there we go, Radio. They have sent me a message, and they did. Looky here. I got a message from the Steam bot, and it has given me a token. And it tells me here to put in the token. So, alright, I will. Copy paste it. Enter. And I have been successfully verified. And as you can see here, I have been rewarded with the special guest permission group. Well, in this case, the Radio doesn't need it because it already got a few more extra permissions, but shh, don't tell anybody. If we go to that panel back where it was, here it is, and I would refresh it, I think. Yeah, there we go. Now you can see that the Radio is also authenticated, and it is logged in with the local address, but also the Steam ID is logged, and I would be able to visit its profile. Pretty easy, pretty simple. Yeah, well, and I guess that is the entire function of this program. And what it would enable us to do is just simply, if we would edit a channel, and you would have edited the join permissions, just make sure that the standard permission group people are assigned to has a low joining power. And if you want channels to be protected from random visitors, simply select the channel you want to edit and say that it has to have a higher join power. And then people that didn't authenticate themselves wouldn't be able to join that channel. It's as simple as that. So the setup once, the first time you set this up, might be, I guess it would take you about an hour, maybe two, to set it up correctly, especially if you don't have the accounts for Teamspeak and for Steam yet. And it would cost you, well, if you don't have a Steam account ready to be used as a bot, it might cost you $5 US to, well, make use of it. And that's pretty much it. And you got a secure system that way. I hope you guys liked this video and it had some use for you. Of course, I will post these links into the description. And as I said, all credits go to the creator, Nikita Vondel. I think she's Dutch. So thank you for creating this this script for us, and it's really useful. Thank you. So hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, like and subscribe, and if you have any questions, don't hesitate to ask. If you have any suggestions for a how-to video, please let me know. And well, of course, like and subscribe, and we hope to see you guys next time. Bye!